So if you're an actor just starting out, you've probably watched someone on screen or on stage and just thought, how did they do that? How does it look so real? Well, the secret? It isn't really a secret at all. It all goes back to one legendary teacher, Konstantin Stanislavski, and his guide to what true performance is all about. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so let's just get right to the heart of it. This is the question every single performer has to answer for themselves. Are you just faking it? Are you just showing us an emotion? Or are you actually feeling it, living it, right there in the moment? Because trust me, the difference between those two things, well, that's the difference between just being a craftsman and being a true artist.
All right, I want you to picture this. You're in Stanislavski's acting class. He calls his teacher persona Tortsov in the book. You're watching a student up there doing a scene. And yeah, they're making some mistakes, maybe a little clumsy, but Tortsov stops the class. He points out that in the middle of all that, there were two moments, just a flash of despair and then a burst of rage that were completely 100% real. He called those moments true art. So what did he mean by that?
And just listen to the words he uses here. It's so specific. The art of living a part. Now that isn't just some poetic throwaway phrase. For Stanislavski, this is everything. This is the whole goal. This idea, it's basically the North Star for any serious actor.
So what does it actually mean to live a part? What does that feel like? Well, it's that incredible moment where you, the actor, are so completely lost in the character's world that you stop thinking. You're not planning your next move, you're not wondering what your face is doing. Your performance becomes subconscious. It's intuitive. Your body, your voice, your emotions, they're all just reacting truthfully right then and there. Okay, but right here, this is where we hit a huge roadblock. And if you're just starting out, this can be so frustrating. It's what I like to call the subconscious paradox. Think about it. Every time you get up there to perform, what's the real goal? It's inspiration, right? You don't just want to repeat the lines you rehearsed, you want to find that genuine, spontaneous spark, that lightning in a bottle that makes a performance feel absolutely alive.
And where does that lightning come from? Well, it comes from your subconscious. It's that deep, powerful, intuitive part of you that, well, you just can't order it around.
And that is the paradox. The second your conscious brain gets involved and tries to force it, the moment you think, okay, be inspired, now, poof, it's gone. It vanishes. You cannot will your subconscious into action. In fact, trying to do that is the fastest way to kill it.
So if you can't force it, what are you supposed to do? Stanislavski had a great answer for this. He said that before you can even think about finding the right way, you have to get really good at spotting the wrong ways. You have to learn to recognize all the common traps actors fall into when they try to fake something that should be real. And here's trap number one. He calls it the art of representation. See, on the one hand, you have living the part, which is created totally fresh every single time. But representation, that's just a copy. It's like you might have felt a real emotion once, back in rehearsal, but then for every performance, you just mechanically reproduce the outside signs of it. It's like a fossil of a feeling that was once alive.
And you have got to learn to spot these traps, especially in your own work. You've got representation, which is that polished, technically perfect, but totally cold performance. Then there's mechanical acting, which is even worse. That's when you just use generic cliches for emotions. Stanislavski called them rubber stamps. And finally, you've got amateurish overacting. You know what this is. It's just grabbing the biggest, most obvious gesture you can think of to try and impress the audience.
And let's be real, we've all seen these rubber stamps. Oh my gosh, yes. The hand clutched over the heart for love, tearing your hair out for despair. These are just shortcuts. They're like emotional emojis. They tell you what the feeling is, but they don't make you feel it. They are the absolute enemy of truthful acting.
Okay, so we know all the things we shouldn't be doing. But what's the right path? If we can't just command our subconscious to show up, how in the world do we get it to come out and play? Stanislavski's solution here is just brilliant. You don't go at it head on. You have to take the scenic route. He actually compares the actor to an engineer, right? You can't control the steam itself, but you can build a really good engine. You use your conscious mind, your intellect, to do all the groundwork. You build a logical, truthful foundation for your character. You figure out their life, you adapt your own human experiences to fit theirs, and if you do all that conscious work correctly and honestly, well, then you've created the perfect conditions for the subconscious to just show up on its own.
And this quote from another great actor named Shepkin really gets to the heart of the whole system. The goal isn't to give a good performance, it's to give a true one. That's the key. Truthfulness is the soil. If you plant your performance in truth, that's where inspiration can actually grow. So focus on being true to the character and the rest will follow.
But look, having this incredible, rich, truthful inner life, that's only half of it. I mean, think about it. What good is feeling the most profound, subtle emotion in the world if your body is too stiff or your voice is too weak to actually express it? You have to prepare your physical instrument just as much as your inner one.
Yeah, your body and your voice, they're the hardware. They're the speakers that broadcast everything we've been talking about. If you want to express the delicate subconscious life of another human being, your own physical apparatus has to be incredibly responsive, fine-tuned, and ready to transmit those signals without any static.
And that doesn't just happen. It takes serious discipline. I'm talking daily, systematic work, singing to train your breath and your voice, gymnastics and dancing to get control and grace in your body, even something like fencing for precision and quick reactions. This stuff isn't extra credit, it's absolutely essential.
And that brings us to the last and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. It's all about your motivation. It's about why you're even doing this in the first place. Because honestly, the answer to that question will define your entire life as an artist.
Stanislavski is very clear here. He says the single greatest danger for an actor is using the art for your own personal gain. Using the stage to show everyone how beautiful you are, or to get popular, or just to build a career on ego. He says that's not just a mistake, it's the ultimate corruption of the craft.
And this is the exact question Tortsov puts to a student who he catches using a scene just to show off her pretty feet. It's such a direct, piercing question, and it's one that every single one of us has to ask ourselves. Did you come here to serve the art, and even make sacrifices for it, or are you here to make the art serve you? And that's the question I want to leave you with. Because as you start out on this path, this is the choice you're going to make every single day. Every time you step into a rehearsal room, every time you walk on stage. What are you going to serve? The character? The story? The truth? Or are you just going to serve yourself? The choice is always yours.